Hello and welcome back to another video on the JJ Think Tank. I've got a bit more time today on my hands, so this video will be about mental health, about relationships, about what I have learned as I've grown older, and about friendship. And the title of my article that I wrote is that a true friend sees the good in you and doesn't try to restrict or label you. Now, I've been guilty of this many times in the past. I've tried to restrict people, label them. I didn't see the good in them. When I was a teenager, I guess with your friends you just engage in banter, as we like to say in English. So obviously, not all the time it's intentionally malicious, yes, or whatever, yes. But then definitely there were times in my life when I was a bit older, when I was a bit lost, etc. I kind of cut myself off, and through this process I had conflicting thoughts. Yes, at times I thought badly of people. I kind of labelled them, negated them, at a distance perhaps, or even when I was with them perhaps at times. And yes, I guess this was due to the fact that I didn't really understand myself. I needed a lot of time to be on my own. I needed to process a lot of my trauma. I needed to yes, basically improve my mental health and know myself more. And obviously, we are all on a different timeline. Some people mature more quickly, others don't. Obviously, I'm still on this process. We're always trying to become better people as we grow older. And I think naturally the aging process, it causes you to confront yourself and others, and to try and be a good person. And at this moment in time, I guess the concept of original sin is relevant. So the Bible talks about original sin, how we are all tainted with original sin. And so we shouldn't think of ourselves as being better than others or inferior to others. We're all equal in a sense, yes? We all have our unique talents, our unique personalities, our strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, a natural hierarchy arises. Some people achieve more success, others achieve less. And it's just kind of the natural state of affairs, yes? This doesn't mean that you can't improve your life. You can improve your life, you can bring more order, more clarity, and when you do so, you feel more confident in yourself and more at peace. And I've noticed sometimes when I behaved badly, when I was lost, I just judged people too much, maybe. At times also I was maybe a bit envious. But it's because I didn't know myself. I didn't find my own kind of unique talents, perhaps, or I didn't understand my purpose in life. And it sprang from this, really. So this is why I do agree that being alone for an extended period of time, being not lonely, because lonely is a negative word, but being alone, it can help you because you find out more about yourself, who you are, what your purpose is, and you've got time to process your trauma, to overcome your trauma, and become more healthy mentally. Yes, and once you become more healthy mentally, you can help. You can start to help others. So right now, a thought popped up into my mind that we can only love another person when we truly love ourselves. But by this, I don't mean in a narcissistic sense. We shouldn't love ourselves in a narcissistic sense. We should love ourselves by following Jesus, because Jesus loves us, and when we notice that Jesus loves us and that He can heal us, magic starts to happen. Your life starts to improve. You gain a sense of peace, and yes, you can move forward. Of course, you may trip up many times in the future. You can make mistakes again. You can relapse into previous patterns of thought and behavior. But I think on a deeper level, you're always making progress. You might not notice it, but then as you get older and you look back in hindsight, you notice, okay, yes, I understood why that happened or whatever, and you notice that definitely some progress is taking place in your life. Yes, I included a picture of Frodo Baggins and Sam Gamgee. Sam Gamgee. Sam Gamgee, yes, Sam Gamgee. So this definitely applies to Sam Gamgee. So Sam Gamgee was a great friend to Frodo. So Frodo had this difficult task of trying to destroy the Ring of Power. Um, he was given this task to destroy the ring, the One Ring, and this ring it's powerful. Yes, it can overcome you. This lust for power. You you need to be careful. Yes, because we all have perhaps sometimes this lust for power, this lust for for fame, or this lust to be important. But it's dangerous, yes, because at the same time you can be led down a wrong path. And ultimately, Frodo wasn't led down a wrong path because he had Sam Gamgee, yes, and Sam Gamgee was this good friend of his, a true friend, who ultimately saw the good in him, really, and saved Frodo. Because without Sam Gamgee, Frodo would not have destroyed the ring, the toxic ring of power, and ultimately, in some sense, I feel sorry for those people who are given the task of having power. It's difficult. It's difficult. Right now, a thought popped up into my mind about from the movie Spider-Man. Yes, so in Spider-Man, there's this scene in the original Spider-Man. Yes, with Peter Parker as Tobey Maguire. He was the best Spider-Man, wasn't he, Tobey Maguire? Because he was a bit of a geek, but he was also kind of courageous at the same time. And the famous line goes, "With great power comes great responsibility." And I feel sorry for people who in some sense, yes, that that have this massive task to accomplish, and this is why I'm not totally against some politicians. I don't totally reject politics. I think politics is still necessary. Uh, I'm interested in politics from the theoretical point, analysing political processes. So we can't do away with politics, unfortunately. Power is a part of our world, a part of our universe, of our life here on Earth, and we should try to help politicians. Yes, help them achieve what they have to achieve, and adopt kind of the mentality of Gamgee. We need to help. We need to help politicians to do the right thing, because they have been tasked with having this responsibility. They have been given this power, and we need to have some empathy for them and direct them in the right way. Make sure that they go down the right path. But not even this. In our normal personal relationships, our relationships with loved ones, with people who are part of our family, our friends, if we have any, we need to adopt the mentality of Gamgee and notice the good in your friends, in your family members, and not try to restrict or label them. This is the worst. You shouldn't try and restrict or label or negate or judge your fellow man, because ultimately you don't know his inner essence. You don't know the true nature of his heart, of his soul. Only God knows this. Only God knows this. Yes, and at this moment in time, I'd like to share a quote by Dostoevsky, and this is a beautiful, deep quote, which reads, "To love someone means to see them as God intended them." That's a very deep quote, because God is mysterious, isn't he? God is mysterious. God has a plan for everyone in this life. I believe in God. My faith in Jesus Christ has helped me a lot in life. I believe in God, and yes, God has this plan for everyone in the life. Yes, it's a plan for everybody, and here we can refer to my previous thought about humans being in between lightness and darkness. To be a human is to be in between. Yes, we are both a mixture of lightness and of darkness, and we should try to make sure that more light comes out of the person rather than more darkness. And this is why we shouldn't restrict or label another person. We don't know them. We don't. When we judge, when you judge someone, you negate them and you kind of put them into a box. But this person that you're judging or negating or restricting, he or she they can after revealed to be very intelligent or to have a lot of insight. They can help you in some way. And this is what I've noticed as I've grown older, as I've gotten older, and I try not to fall into this trap anymore. So let's go into my article now. Perhaps there are some points I made here that will shed a bit more light. So definitely in the era of postmodernity. So we are living in postmodernity. Postmodernity is firmly set in place. It's firmly set in place. Unfortunately, I mean, history will judge whether postmodernity was good, well, whether postmodernity will be a good period of time or not. But we are kind of in it now. We're all kind of more and more atomized. We need to fight back against this atomization. We need to start becoming whole again by becoming more whole again by cultivating, yes, wholesome relationships with our loved ones and people who are important in our life. But yes, we have to also talk about the bad. Yes, so postmodernity, in my interpretation, in my view, based on my experience, it's causing people to become more lonely and alone and atomized. But paradoxically, when it comes to our mental health, it's both a good and a bad process, because when you're alone all the time, when you're lonely, you can discover more aspects to your personality. You can understand yourself more. You can find out more about yourself. You will surprise yourself, and this is a good process. It gives you the chance to overcome your trauma, as I mentioned, process your trauma, and to set yourself right. Yes, but then this process can become toxic at the same time, because when you're alone for too long, you become lonely, and loneliness can be a negative thing. Yes, because we can become deluded and narcissistic. I've noticed this in my life. I had this period when I was starting to be alone for too long. Sometimes these thoughts started to pop up in my mind, and deluded thoughts, narcissistic thoughts. That oh, I am the center of everything, etc. Oh, I will achieve these deluded goals. But then quickly I noticed, oh wow, so it's so embarrassing after, when I think to myself, what was I thinking? Very embarrassing, and slowly but surely I'm overcoming this. I'm very happy. I'm becoming much more whole, I think, and much more true to my real self. So yes, this is why we can't be alone for too long. Obviously, at the same time, I don't think there's a point of entering relationships with others, with people, with the opposite sex as well. Even if it's just going to be toxic, yes, there's no point really. You're just going to create more chaos for yourself and for the other person. So you just have to be kind of more reasonable and rational about this. But yes, let's talk a bit more about how, when we become cut off from our fellow man, we start to lose touch with our humanity. And this is what I noticed along my journey. I started to create these imaginary scenarios, perhaps, like paranoid, deluded scenarios that I was kind of, I don't know, how to explain it. Targeted, maybe persecuted at times. That I am these deluded thoughts that I'm superior to others. Then I had some thoughts that I'm inferior to others. That I'm worthless. I'm useless. And I had this conflict. Yes, I had this conflict for it came and went. Like sometimes I would have this conflict, and then it would just go. I would just get lost in books. I would have to work. Go. I was busy as well for most of the time. I went to work. Obviously, I had different jobs. I engaged in different hobbies, etc. Yes. I met people during work. Obviously, when I went to the gym, I had some conversations sometimes in a sauna, etc. So I wasn't totally alone most of the time, luckily, because I watched some videos online of people who really they really exclude themselves from society. They become total hermits, and this is dangerous. This is dangerous because you don't know how strong you are. If you adopt this excessive monk mode hermit mentality, it might lead to negative outcomes. And I know myself more. I like to be alone. I don't mind being alone for extended periods of time. I can occupy myself, with books, with reading and writing. I'd like to have even more time for other things, but obviously, unfortunately, we are constricted in that sense. We don't have all the time in the world, so I have to prioritize. Yes, different activities over others. But yes, this is just my thoughts really, my experience, and this leads me onto my next point, that it's crazy. It's crazy when you think about yourself. We're all unique human beings, and we're a unique copy. No one will ever appear that is like us. We're all unique, and when you start to notice this, you realize that you're not inferior to others. You're not, and neither are you superior. So why do you feel insecure? You're a unique human being. No one, after you die, no one will ever appear like you. It's crazy when you start to think about it. Yeah, this is what I wrote. You are a unique human being who will never reappear on this earth. And when you just accept your strengths and weaknesses, you know yourself more. Life becomes just much more not easier, but it just becomes more bearable. It becomes more bearable, and you are able to move forward. And this leads me on to my next point about envy and jealousy. So obviously, when we look and analyze other people, we look at how they have achieved success. Obviously, naturally, we as human beings, we might appear envious and jealous. Yes, I've been guilty of this, obviously, and ultimately, this is bad for you. When you notice that someone has achieved success, when you see that someone is successful, if you become envious and jealous, it ultimately backfires. It backfires. We should cherish and celebrate the success of others. We should, yes, be balanced, yes, in our approach to other people when they have achieved success. We should notice, what they're good at, but also highlight their perhaps their blindness, and in what sense they are wrong, etc. And when you notice that they're different to you, it actually reinforces your own identity. You understand yourself more. You know, oh, okay, I'm not actually like this person. I'm different in a good way. He's better than me in this aspect, perhaps, and it gives you a clearer picture as to who you are, and it allows you not to control or change this difference. This is the key point, I think. And as I was writing this article in the morning, as I was writing this down on paper, because I like to first write down things on paper and then convert them here onto Medium. A famous line from Shakespeare came to my mind, which reads, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances." So we all have our time to shine. It doesn't matter where it is. It might be online, it might be at the workplace, it might be somewhere else. We all get the opportunity to shine in the spotlight for perhaps some for an extended period of time, others for just a fraction, or for slightly longer. But yes, this thought of Shakespeare's, this line from Shakespeare, I think it helps to clarify a lot of thoughts about why some people achieve more success and others less. But at the same time, it's up to you whether you want the spotlight or not, if you want to be on the stage for a bit, and for how long, it's up to you really. This is kind of my these are my ruminations on this line here by Shakespeare. And it's a very famous quote from Shakespeare, right? A very famous line from his work. I actually don't know Shakespeare that well, to be honest. I mean, obviously at school I read a lot of Shakespeare because it was part of our curriculum, but I actually I've never read Shakespeare when I was on my own, doing my own kind of research and trying to paint a picture of the world. Yes, so perhaps I need to start reading a bit more Shakespeare again, going back to Shakespeare, because perhaps there are a lot of lines, a lot of thoughts in the work of Shakespeare that can help us in this postmodern age. So now I'd like to return back to personal relationships. So I want to reiterate that we need to bring out the good in our neighbour and not try to label them, yes, negate them, judge them. So when we label someone, we negate them. So I don't know who said this, who wrote this, but it's another famous line. And as I said before, we don't know what's hidden in their soul and heart, what goodness could arise out of them if we only give them the chance to do so, if we notice the goodness in them, the kind of their inherent, their essence, yes, we could say. And psychological manipulation is evil. It is really evil. You shouldn't do this. It's not nice to do. And I think eventually you get found out. I mean, eventually everything rises to the surface, really. Which leads me on to my, I think this is my final point. Yes. So in this day and age, what I've noticed as I've grown up, as I've interacted with people, is that there's a lot of hate out there. There's a lot of narcissistic energy. Narcissism is on the rise, I think. This unhealthy form of narcissism, because I think you can have healthy narcissistic traits but unhealthy ones as well at the same time, because obviously you need some self-confidence to go out there and confront the world. So this healthy form of narcissism helps you, but it can quickly switch to an unhealthy form of narcissism, yes, and a lack of empathy, a lack of insight. And this is, I pick this up a lot. Sometimes I pick up this kind of negative energy, this hate, just in general when I'm walking somewhere, or I'm walking past a person, I look at them and then they look at me and kind of look at me in a strange way or something, and I just don't really understand why. Like I pick up subtly, yes, this kind of negative energy, and I don't know. Maybe they're trying to tell me something. I don't know exactly. But sometimes I think it's unwarranted. Yes, I don't know. Why is there so much hate in the postmodern world? It's a shame, and this is why I kind of avoid contact, obviously, with such individuals. When people kind of, they automatically label you, negate you, judge you, hate you. It's better just to avoid such people. It's better for your mental health. It's better for you to be surrounded by people who support you, who try to bring out the best in you, and yes, this is a good rule to adopt. Obviously, at this stage, people could criticize me, say, "Oh, this is wrong," because Jesus told us, right, to confront and love our enemies. But obviously, this is difficult. It's not easy to fully imitate Jesus, but I guess it's a process. Yes, we're all on a different timeline, as I like to say, and yes. So again, I'll end my video with the thought that we need to recognize, our goodness, the goodness of others, and not try to subtly manipulate and control. So, the sound appears here. And this quote by Buddha reflects this idea. Do not overrate what you have received or envy others. He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind. So let me just close this window. Yes, do not overrate what you have received or envy others. He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind. Buddha. And yes, that's definitely a brilliant quote by Buddha. And it's definitely true. So yes, that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped to clarify some issues when it comes to relationships in the postmodern world. And yes, if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It will help me grow the channel and spread more vital information that I think will help a lot of people out there. If you like the video even more, consider donating at Buy Me a Coffee. I'll provide a link in the description. And yes, that's all for today. I hope you have a great day and take care.